Should you get a lawyer for a DWI in Texas? We're going to be answering that right now. So a DWI is not like a traffic ticket. You should get a lawyer for a DWI. Handling it on your own is going to be extremely difficult. I don't know any lawyers that would handle it on their own. They have this saying that he who represents himself has a fool for a client. And that's pretty much true. But, I'm a lawyer. I focus on DWI. I'm a former member of the vehicular crimes team at the Montgomery County DA's office when I was a prosecutor. I've seen it from both sides, and I'm board certified in criminal law. And if I got arrested for a DWI, I would have a different lawyer representing me in court. But it's just so tricky. There are so many potholes that you can step into on a DWI. Like, for example, if you refuse to give a breath or a blood test, you've only got 15 days to request a hearing to try to save your driver's license, or your driver's license can get refused and revoked automatically, okay? So there's that part, right? When there's a DWI, there's two separate prosecutions, the driver's license prosecution and the prosecution where the punishment ranges up to 180 days in jail and a $2,000 fine. That's the regular prosecution. So you got to have a lawyer that can do both of those things and can navigate your case for your situation. The other thing is thinking about, like, let's say you lose your occupational driver's license hearing. You've got to get an occupational driver's license at some point, all right? If the ALR hearing goes south, you need to have a lawyer that can get you the occupational driver's license, because that itself is something that requires a court filing, maybe a hearing in front of the judge if you don't have your forms all correct. All that stuff is going to take a lot of time. It's actually going to save you money, especially depending on what you do, to get a lawyer to try to handle all these things. The amount of time and headache that it causes you versus, like, we do this every day. It's definitely in your interest. The other thing is that if you go to court and you try to talk to the prosecutors about your case by yourself, they may give you an offer and it may sound good to you. They may say something like, well, here, if you just, take this probation, at the end of it, you won't have a conviction. Well, that's deferred probation, which they could give you on a DWI first, but they won't tell you that it could enhance a new DWI to a higher charge in the future. So even though it gets dismissed based on the deferred probation, you could still be facing a higher charge if you got a new DWI in the future. And you can never get a deferred probation expunged totally from your record. You can get it non-disclosed and sealed, but you can't ever get it expunged, right? So if you're watching this video and you don't immediately understand all those terms, the difference between a non-disclosure and an expunction, an ALR hearing, and an occupational license, that would be a good hint that you should probably get a lawyer, because if you don't really know those terms backwards and forwards, it's going to get very confusing as to what you should do and what your options are. Your lawyer can help you work through those problems. So if you tell me, hey, Brian, I own my own business. I'm not worried about somebody in the future trying to hire me or fire me because they find out I've got a DWI. You're going to have different options that you might want to take that can be easier for you versus somebody who says, Brian, I'm 19 years old, I'm a freshman in college, and I want to go to med school after college. What do? Well, I'm going to tell you a different list of options. We're either going to have to win the case at a trial or try to get you some type of agreement that allows the case to be expunged from your record entirely. So, should I get a lawyer for a DWI in Texas? I think absolutely. We'd love to help you out here. If you need recommendations for lawyers, I would check out anybody who's board certified in criminal law. They're going to know what they're doing. And really appreciate your time. Hope this has been helpful to you.